We are starting off with chapter 20. This is the last chapter in the course, and it is electrochemistry. The first part we're going to take a look at here is balancing reactions using redox. Now, redox is simply oxidation reduction. We just shorten it up and just call it redox. So I'm going to kind of throw a lot of things kind of going back and forth. The first thing I'll look at here is we're just going to set up an equation. And this is dichromate. And we're going to look at a reaction involving it and iodide. And it produces a chromium ion and some iodate. So this is the overall reaction. And what we want to do, we want to go through several steps, and I'll kind of walk through these as we're moving through it. The first thing we want to do is separate the half reactions. And then balance. So instead of trying to take this whole equation on here and try to balance it out, we're going to do it separately. And again, we're looking at this balancing from the idea of oxidation reduction. What elements or compounds are being oxidized and which ones are being reduced. So let me go back and give you a couple, some background information, which will be some helpful tips that may make this a little easier. First one. Elements. If something is in its elemental state, not with a charge, but just like iron as an example, like think solid iron, its elemental oxidation state, its plus minus, is always going to be zero. So hydrogen gas, chlorine gas, oxygen gas, all these various things, they're all zero. Now, if it's an ion, its charge is the oxidation number. I'm not going to write anything else down here. So whatever plus minus it has, that is its charge. So ions have a charge. That's it. Done. 3. Oxygen is usually -2 or 2-. And again, I'll bounce back and forth and I'll put 2- or -2 in here. And there's no rhyme or reason. I just, whatever's going through my mind at that particular moment. There's not a right or wrong way to do it. So oxygen, the ion, as far as the element in a compound, is usually 2-, and that's how it affects everything else. Now, if it happens to be a peroxide, then it's going to be 1-. So for example, hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, it's going to be 2-. Next one, 4. Hydrogen is usually +1, or it could be -1. And those cases are when it's with a metal. So when it's in the non-metal state, most times it's going to be +1, think H2O. If it's with a metal, think calcium hydride, CaH2, it's going to be 1-. So that's going to be typically how hydrogen is going to work. 5, something you can always count on. Fluorine is going to be 1- every single time. It's the most electronegative element. It pulls in electrons very well. 6, chlorine is typically going to be 1-, or it may be +1. I don't think it has any other charges, but let's just go with that for now. +1 when it's an oxyanion. I didn't give myself a lot of room here. Oxyanion. And 7, the sum of a polyatomic is the same, or must, like, I'll say must add up to the charge of the anion. So for example, nitrate Everything has to figure itself out to add up to that -1 charge. In any compound, H2O, everything's got to add up to that number. Okay? Going back to this reaction here, we're going to say, okay, separate the half reaction and balance. Some things are going to be all over the place and we just avoid them. So oxygen, this one's not the best because I only have oxygen in 2 places, but typically you have a couple main elements you're focusing on. Chromium, that's kind of a main element, and iodine, I would say, is the other. Everything else just kind of like fills up the space. So we're going to separate these guys and look at how they react. I'm first going to look at dichromate. So here is dichromate, and I'm only focusing on the stuff that has dichromate in it. So I'm starting here, and then you just kind of build out from it. So you have a center point. This is the 2 parts here. I'm going to build out to make it work. So I have this beginning part. I've separated into these half reactions. This is the first part I have. I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to write the other reaction as well, just so I can see it. I have iodide, and that's going to build into this iodate. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone as the moment, and I'm going to start writing in the other steps. I've done this part, half reactions, got it. Next thing, we are going to balance the oxygen, if it's present, by adding water. Because remember, these reactions are typically going to be aqueous. So you have an ion, it's aqueous. Ions don't just float around on their own. That may be something you never thought about before. Stick it in your head right now. Ions, the reason they are that way, or they only exist in water. So these are all aqueous, unless it's a precipitate and you write solid on here. I didn't do that. We're going to assume they're all aqueous. Okay, so we're going to balance oxygen by adding water where it's necessary. Here, I have 7 oxygens, so I need 7 oxygens over here. So I will be adding 7 waters on the right-hand side. I'm going to do the same thing down here just to get this one going. I have 3 oxygens, so I'm going to write 3 waters for that one. So step 2 is done. But of course, I did mess things up a little bit by adding in waters. I will fix that by balancing. So this little chain reaction we have going. I'm going to balance the hydrogens that I affected by adding in water, the hydrogens being present. Here I have 14 hydrogens that I added. So I will balance that out by adding 14 H pluses here. And then I have 6 present, so I'm going to add 6 hydrogens over there. Okay? And now what's my 4th step? I'm going to balance out the electrons to fix the charge. So I have to look at both sides here and say, okay, what happened in this line up here? My overall charge on the left-hand side here is positive 14, negative 2, so positive 12. And on this side, I have positive 3. That's it. So to knock positive 12 down to positive 6, hold on a second, something doesn't look right. You've probably already seen it a while ago. It said balance up here, and I never did it because I know my numbers aren't working out, so I'm seeing it now. 2 chromiums and 2 chromiums. There we go. Now let's see how this works. So again, sometimes you don't see this until after you get somewhere in here. Here we are. Now I have still the 2 and the 14, but this makes 12. But I've got positive 6. How do I knock positive 12 down to positive 6? Well, we can add in 6 electrons. Problem solved for that top line. The bottom one, iodine in this case is all set. But let's see, I have negative 1 and positive 6, so positive 5 it looks. And on this side I have negative 1. So how am I going to get positive 5 down to negative 1? Positive 5, negative 1. I have to add 6 electrons to that side. That's most of this whole process here. You know what? Let me just pause here and we'll pick it up in the next lecture.